Hi, this is Sebastien, and welcome to the Unicorn Gathering, which is my YouTube channel. I'm Sebastien Coles, and I am in a tree right now. You can't really see, but that's okay. You'll just take my word for it. I love being out here. It's my medicine. And I just want to let everybody know that I do have an intention of gathering the unicorns at some point in person so that we can all really enjoy each other's company, because I think we're all a bit spread out right now all over the place, and it would be really great for us to gather and celebrate ourselves together, because we've all been doing so much hard work being on Earth and shining our light and being fucking weirdos, which is awesome. So everyone, just keep doing you, hang in there. What is a unicorn? It's just a magical queer person, very simple. You can self-identify as a unicorn. Alright. And, unicorn lore, they're obviously very rare and an extinct species, but that's the thing, we're not extinct, we came back to Earth, we're here now. And unicorns heal with their horns. So, healers too, magical, healing, queer beings. So the way I'm going to start doing these videos, it's changing. Everything is always evolving and changing. This is just the impermanence of life, and I'm going with it. It's just similar to the Dirty Power half an hour that I posted prior, just to give messages that I feel like are strongly coming through to me, and just sharing them with anyone else that's listening in the hope that it can bring some sort of clarity, relief, love, good vibes to wherever you are and whatever you're doing in your life. And that's just my intention for sharing. So, and I'm just going to keep sharing. I'm going to keep broadcasting my frequency. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about today is trust your motherfucking intuition. Please. Anyone that's watching this video is going to be somewhat psychic, and we are getting impressions, energetic, emotional. We're getting impressions through visions, through thoughts, all the time. And it's so important for us to trust the information that we're receiving. Now, I think that we are afraid to trust ourselves because we've been programmed and conditioned not to. And we oftentimes can mistake fear for intuition. But if you're feeling fearful about something and a thought is tinged with fear, that's not your intuition, that's just a fear. So all it would take is one step more of having some consciousness about it. And intuition is not emotionally charged, it just is what it is. So if there's something that's emotionally charged, it's generally that's just an emotion. That's just an emotion ocean that's moving through. So, yeah, so important for all of us to really, we all have amazing intuitions, and to really start tapping into that intuition and trusting it. Really like giving ourselves over to it and letting that guide us in our lives. It'll save us a lot of trouble. So, for example, if you have an intuition about a person when you first meet them. And a lot of times, again, we are conditioned and trained to block out our intuition around people. And so we just ignore all of the information that we're getting. So when you meet someone, you're getting, automatically, you're going to be getting a strong sense. You're going to energetically be feeling them and what they're about if you're paying attention, again, to your intuition. Now, if you're super ungrounded, it can be difficult to be in touch with your intuition. That's why it's important to stay very grounded. Tricky, very tricky. So, again, if you meet someone and, they're saying all the right things and doing all the right things, but your gut tells you something's wrong or off here, please trust your intuition. And, of course, if we're female socialized, oftentimes, we'll wait until someone does something or says something that's unsavory before we trust ourselves and back away from the situation, or something pretty intense has to happen before we feel like we're justified in putting up boundaries. But I'm giving you permission right now. Do not wait. If you get a bad vibe from something, someone, an environment, a situation, and that's a message that's repetitive, that you keep getting the same message. Repetition is another way to really, you can trust your intuition. If you're getting the same fucking message over and over and over and over, then you got to go with that. That's just the law of numbers. Like, if you're getting a message to go towards somebody, if you're getting a strong intuition, like, this person's really good, I think this person, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to be expanded, I'm going to grow, I feel good about this person, to trust that. And if one day you're like, get really scared, and you're like, oh, well, that's just one day of you being scared, you just trust your intuition. If you're supposed to go towards this person, it will just continue to go in your mind. So, and intuition is not just with people, but I think that so much of human life is about connecting with other human beings, and so our intuitions around people are really, really important. But it can be around circumstances, things that you want to create, places that you want to go or travel, or places you want to live or move, or even just, should I do this with my day or do that with my day? So this is just a strong message for everyone to, take an extra step there in trusting themselves and trusting their intuitions, and always, before making a decision of any kind, just sort of stepping back and, checking in with yourself and seeing, how do I really, feel about this? And again, the more you pay attention, the better. And we can get, intuition can come, again, in strong sort of thoughts, like a clear voice in our head. It can come in images, it can come in dreams, it can come in bodily sensations, like or emotions or strong feelings. So intuition can come in a lot of different ways, but the most important thing is just to start listening to it. Your body, your higher self are constantly talking to you, constantly giving you information, and it's just up to you to start really learning that language, like paying attention to it. And if you're like, I'm having these impressions, but I'm not sure what they mean, stick with it. Eventually you're going to learn what all those things mean. And if you're like, I'm getting this intuition that I'm not sure if I can trust it, wait, let it settle and let it sift with it for a while until it becomes very obvious, very clear what's being communicated. So that's just something that I want to pass out to y'all. Another thing is that I've been thinking a lot about is the overstimulated nervous system. I think this is a term that I first heard from Matt Kahn. And I really love this term because our nervous systems in the modern day world, and especially in Western society, are constantly, perpetually overstimulated. We're working constantly, maybe more than 40 hours a week sometimes. So we're like already, like, that's extremely stimulating and not organic to the human experience in any capacity. Then, we have technology, so, your gaming or your television, or now our phones are constantly with us, social media. We're being very, very constantly stimulated through our technology. We're being very stimulated through things we put in our mouths, food or stimulants or anything, pharmaceuticals. All of those things are extremely stimulating. And then, we're living in modern worlds. We're driving around a lot. We're traveling a lot. We're moving around a lot. We're going from here to here, here, here. It's like completely a stimulating experience. And then on top of that, we have different relationships with people. And if you're sensitive, you're really going to be kind of fucked up the whole time because you're inundated with so much stimulation constantly. And the reason why it's difficult to stop stimulating ourselves is because we'll have to start feeling and healing. And that process is initially kind of painful and difficult. But I just want to encourage everyone to start thinking about their nervous system and notice when you're pushing yourself past the point where you're like, I think I'm kind of frying myself or frying my nervous system here. And again, the more sensitive you are, the easier it is to do this. And you'll notice that, like, well, that's gonna gear or lead my life towards a lifestyle that's more slow and relaxed and just simple. And really, honestly, that is where we are headed as a society. That's the only place that there is to go, because that's the organic human way of living, is slow and simple and relaxed. But we get so many messages that we have to do more and be more, and we have to go here and here, and we're often trying to escape ourselves. So we stimulate ourselves in order to get away from ourselves. It's very difficult for us to sit alone in a room and be okay and not freak out. And of course, you don't cold turkey yourself, because you will freak out. Just gradually come off the stimulation juice, and so your nervous system can start healing. Like, so many people have, anxiety disorders, so many people have depression, so many people have all these things, not realizing that this is a product of society and culture, and this nervous system being just completely shot constantly. And our adrenals are completely burnt out, and so then we're on caffeine so we can have some form of fuel, but it's not true fuel, because if you were to take that away, there's no energy anymore, because the adrenals are burned out, because we're constantly stimulating ourselves and running on stress adrenaline from just living in modern day culture. So, eventually the world at large is going to wake up to that, and everyone's going to start moving to more relaxed lifestyles, because it's the only way to go, and it's the only way to heal. And I think this goes hand in hand with the next point I want to make, is that it's really important to understand that you are enough as you are. All of you have survived so much through your childhood. All y'all have survived so much in your life as queer people. You've survived more than enough. And for you to still be here and to be kind to yourself and others, you're good. You don't got to be anything other than that. You don't got to do anything on top of that. You don't have to do anything extravagant, anything crazy. Like, you don't got to prove yourself to anybody that you don't got to do any giant thing on top of that. You really don't. You're good. You are so good. Relax. You don't have to. You are enough as you are. And so I think there's this, I gotta be someone. I gotta do this thing. I gotta do this thing. I gotta do this thing to prove that I'm awesome, and that I'm good, and that I'm creative, or that I'm talented, or that I'm smart, and that I'm worthy. that I am something, somebody. And that keeps us on a little bit of a hamster wheel, going. And is that actually, and at the end of the day, going to bring us fulfillment? We got to be so honest with ourselves about that. What's actually going to bring us fulfillment? And I'll tell you, a shortcut. Relaxed, slow, simple, a lifestyle. Relaxed, slow, simple. There's no glamour in that. And in fact, you can make it glamorous. But from an ego's perspective, there's no glamour in that. From our programming's perspective, we don't like that. So much of our social capital is really tied up in what we do, like what job we have, who we're connected to, where we went on vacation, or how many adventures we went through. I mean, depending on what kind of culture and group and belonging, there's different sort of like rules in order to, what gives you social capital. But so much of it is around doing. It's not about being. It's around doing. And we ask, how are you doing today? We're not like, what frequency are you vibrating at? How much love are you giving yourself today? Nothing like that. So I think that keeps us on this idea that we have to do to be worthy of love. Because at the end of the day, we all just want to be loved. We want to love and be loved, and we want to connect. And we just want to return to our innocence. And that's what we want at the end of the day. And just express ourselves. And how, that's what we really want. But somehow we sort of translate that into this thing, like can we get this in sort of this capitalistic society, consumeristic system, and then we just overstimulate ourselves constantly, by doing way more, so much, all the time, constantly, not moving. I mean, moving constantly, never stopping to integrate or synthesize what it is that we just experienced. And you can do this as in a lot of different ways. And eventually you'll have to get off that train, though, and come back to yourself. So, trust your intuition. And, one thing that I'm very, very good at throwing myself into very stimulating situations, very stressful situations. And that is a habit and a pattern that I learned from childhood, because there's some ways in which that feels more normal to me than feeling peace and calm. And the unknown is peace and calm. Oh shit, it's starting to rain. Let's see how long I can go. That's what filming outside, right? There was a storm that came through last night, lightning and thunder. I love it. I love storms. Oh God, it was so good. Oh Lord. So I think that this is quite common, that if you had a stressful childhood, if you grew up in a house that wasn't peaceful, where there was fighting, or there was a lot of uncertainty, instability, you're going to be a little bit addicted to this stress and this stimulate, your nervous system being stimulated. That's going to actually feel more okay to you in some regard than being peaceful, still, or calm. That's going to feel a little bit scary, because we're not used to it. We have to retrain ourselves. It's the unknown. We have to retrain ourselves that feeling that way is okay. So, one thing that I started doing is just, if I'm trying to make a decision in my life about whether or not I should do something, is I ask myself, is this going to unnecessarily overstimulate my nervous system? Or is this going to heal or relax my nervous system? And, you know, it all depends on, like, where I am in my own healing cycle. If I'm deep in some deep healing territory, obviously almost everything is going to be pretty overstimulating, so I'll need to, like, scale way back. If I'm in a part of my healing cycle where, you know, I'm a little, you know, in a more stable part of my psyche, then, of course, I can go out into the world and not be so overstimulated as easily, right? But I think that's really, really important for us to set the intentions at the very least. I'm setting the intention to be well rested and for my nervous system to heal. And our, you know, nervous systems, especially this generation, the younger generations, is really compromised. You know, each generation there's a degradation of the nervous system. So it's severely compromised, and we need all the help we can get to start restoring it. Because how can we sustain anything in our lives when our nervous system is fried? You know, where our nervous system can only take so much electricity running through it if it's all fucked up and frayed. So building it strong is really important so that we can perpetually have good, strong energy running through it. And good, strong energy running through it, we can have, you know, energy, like the same amount of energy every day to go and do what we need to do. Our mission's on Earth to, you know, continue to just do us, spread our light and love. So, oh, more fucking thunder. I love this. Oh my god. Did you hear that? I was gonna go out in the canoe. I didn't bring my rain jacket. Wow. Like, nature is pretty stimulating. It's plenty stimulating. This is the best TV right here. It's a real nice view. Alright, the next thing I want to go over is that it's really hard to heal, y'all. It's hard to heal. And anyone that's doing that work right now, just know that you're not doing it necessarily for yourself. Of course you're doing it for yourself, but you're doing it on behalf of humanity at large. Those that are closest to you and nearest around you are going to benefit first and foremost, but we all are a part of humanity. We're all connected. We're all in the same spider web together. So healing, if you're healing yourself, you're healing humanity, and you're doing a great, great service, because no one wants to do this work. This is like, oh, the equivalent to like scooping poop is fucking hard. It is dirty. You like gotta roll up your sleeves and go in and like clean shit up, and it is rough and it's tough, and it's really hard work. So please give yourself lots of credit for all the healing that you're doing, and you can't heal without feel. So all those folks that when you're feeling your emotions, you're healing. And especially when you're feeling them and not necessarily identifying with them, but identifying with the love that hopefully you're surrounding yourself with, or consciousness that you're going through a healing cycle, and it's okay, just letting these things cycle out. And letting yourself feel is extremely important. Don't let anyone ever tell you not to feel your feelings. This is a huge part of life. You've got to let yourself feel your feelings. So important. And I think that we're scared of losing control. Oh God. Let yourself just go there. You're going to get really good at it. And it's okay if things get messy. You don't got to be perfect. So let yourself feel and heal. And it took me a really long time in my own life to actually be sort of perpetually in touch with my emotions, to a point where I knew even what I was feeling. And people would ask me, "Are you okay?" And I just hated that question, because like I thought it was wrong to not be okay. I thought I was wrong to feel things. And so I would piss me off that maybe someone called me out, like, they can tell I'm feeling something, oh shit. I'm like, I'm fine. So, if you're feeling fucked up, just be like, I'm feeling fucked up. If you're feeling sad, like, I'm feeling sad. If you're feeling angry, I'm like, I'm feeling angry. If I'm feeling terrified, it's like, feelings are okay. It's part of the human experience. Let yourself feel. And I think this is part of returning to our innocence, like, little kids are just feeling, They have an emotion and it's just there and they're feeling it. And hopefully if they haven't been repressed or traumatized, they're just letting it come out. And and then it's over and on to the next thing, So, letting ourselves live from a vulnerable place means like building a life where we can be vulnerable and take off of our armor and all these things, and being around people that we trust, and that it's safe to like let our armor down and be open and innocent and sweet around, to surround ourselves with those kind of people and like set up our lives so that we can be that. And it's like, God, it just seems kind of impossible because we still got to, you still got to work or eat or make money, and it's like, there's ways to do it. Just keep working towards it. Keep working towards a life and a lifestyle where you get to be your childlike innocence as often as possible, and just continue to build your life and create your life from that intention, so that you can be yourself. You don't gotta hide aspects of yourself. If you gotta hide who you are at your job, that job is not sustainable. And that's like overwhelming to hear for a lot of us. But eventually you will have to change that job, because it's not gonna, like, the little kid is not gonna let you stay there. That little kid is gonna get sad and is gonna start throwing a tantrum. So the little kid has got to be down with what you're doing most of the day. And most of the day we're at our work or our job. So it hasn't got to be like that, but it's how we've set up society. But we're gonna change that, hopefully. Real soon. Oh. We can be sweet and we can be innocent. Growing up, me and my siblings, we were just murdering each other, very sharp tongues and like saying mean shit all the time. And when you're socialized in school, public school and all that jazz, you just learn to socialize like that. You learn how to interact like that. You're not ever saying anything nice or supportive. You're tearing someone down, or you're making sure someone doesn't tear you down by attacking first. I mean, it's a really fucked up way of communicating. It's violent communication. And it takes a long time to kind of put that aside and start communicating in a loving way. First and foremost, in our own heads. And we might not even notice that we're communicating with ourselves constantly in a really not kind way. So make sure that you're not listening to thoughts and taking that as truth, because thoughts are going, there's a whole stratosphere of thoughts that we can tap into at any given time, and we want to tap into the ones that are positive and reinforce, this idea that we're good people, because we are. So we're getting near 30 minutes, and I think that that's kind of seems like the sweet spot. So I hope that this video helped you. I hope that you liked it. I hope that it made you feel some sort of way. I hope that it inspired you. And just remember, you're doing an amazing job. And keep going. Some days are very hard. Just take it day by day. Some days are very hard, and just take it day to day. If you're in a healing crisis, or you're going through a lot of heavy emotional material, just take it day by day. No, you don't gotta do anything but make it through the day. And make it through the day in the sweetest way possible, in the kindest way possible with yourself. You don't gotta do anything crazy. You're already enough. You came to Earth. Do you know how many souls were like, I'm not incarnating down? That's crazy. Y'all are crazy. I'm not going down there. Earth. No. That place is messed up. But we came because we're awesome like that. So you were here, you got born, you're good. You're good. You don't, just be kind to yourself. Everyone that I'm talking to is already kind. Y'all are kind to other people. That's so natural to you because they're sensitive, empathic, and magical unicorn beings. But the part that we got to work on is being kind to ourselves. That's the part we got to work on. So y'all work on that. And I'll talk to you on my next video. Much love, much light, and goodbye from the forest, from the tree. We got, yeah, some tree love. Some tree love. You feeling that? Oh, yeah. You feel that? This tree, let me tell you. If I'm feeling some sort of way, I just give this tree a hug. The tree's hugging me, really. I'm not doing nothing, and it's like real happy. Consciousness is waking. We can call consciousness into these trees. All right, gotta go. Love you. Bye. Love you all so much.